October 27th. While making my way towards Belching Betty Mine, I ran into a trader leading 2 Brahmin full of goods down the road. He seemed nervous and hurried, casting quick glances around as if expecting trouble at any moment.
You should too, stranger. You hear them? Up there, doing who knows what. Super mutants. I don't want no trouble. Oh no. They're here!
He warned me that there were super mutants in the area and that I should run while I had the chance. Before I could ask what the hell a super mutant was, the sound of heavy footsteps and guttural roars filled the air. A group of the monsters from yesterday started shooting in our direction. Super mutants. The trader and I barely had time to react. I grabbed my rifle and moved to find a clear shot at the first giant. The trader fought bravely alongside me, his desperation giving him a fierce determination. The battle was intense, and in the chaos, one of the trader's Brahmin was killed. We managed to take down the super mutants, and the area fell silent once more. The trader was visibly shaken but grateful. Despite his loss, he thanked me profusely for my help. In return, he offered me some food and drinks from his pack. It wasn't much, but every little bit helps out here. We bid each other farewell and parted ways. It made me feel good that I helped to keep him going. As I moved south towards my final test, the landscape began to change drastically. The skies grew darker, and a thick, choking haze filled the air. The once green hills turned into desolate mounds of ash and soot, the remnants of the region's coal mining days. The ground beneath my feet felt unstable, a mix of ash and slag that shifted with every step. The air is thick with particulate matter, making it hard to breathe. I had to wear my gas mask almost constantly to keep from choking. I couldn't stop though. I had to stay focused on my mission. I drew closer to the mine and was almost there when I ran into a new horror. These creatures are strange and unsettling. They're humanoid, hunched over with a twisted posture, and they wear tattered clothes that look like they might have once belonged to miners. Their faces are obscured by thick gas masks, which makes their muffled voices even more eerie. The masks and clothing give them an almost human appearance, but there's something distinctly off about them, something that sends a chill down your spine. What surprised me most was my own reaction. When I spotted the first one, I didn't hesitate. I shot first without questioning if it was human or not. As I write this, I realize something. I'm adapting to the wasteland. My instincts are sharpening, and I'm reacting faster, more decisively. But there's a part of me that's worried about what this means. Shooting without hesitation, even at something that once might have been human. It's a sign of how much this place is changing me. I just hope I can hold on to who I am, that I don't lose myself entirely to this harsh new world. I finally made it to Belching Betty. The entrance had a small building next to it which housed another Firebreather's Protectron. It greeted me in its overly mechanical way, and after verifying my identity, it provided me with a Firebreather's uniform.
Applicant detected. Gift ticket issued. Please collect your gear. Please present your uniform ticket to the appropriate dispenser. Examination briefing. Holotape issued.
The gear is impressive. A thick jacket, a sturdy helmet, and a gas mask. As I put it on, I felt a sense of relief wash over me. The heavy fabric and protective mask made me feel like I could finally breathe again, shielding me from the toxic air that permeated the ash heap. Now equipped with what I would need for Belching Betty, I walked to the entrance. It was a big cement structure with a door to the mine chiseled into it. An American flag stood tall outside, and a sign provided a warning. Danger. Underground mine fire. Dangerous gases are present. Ground is prone to sudden collapse. It wasn't the most welcoming of sights, but if I was going to find new ways to deal with the scorched and track down the overseer, then I had to enter. I took a deep breath of filtered air through my gas mask and headed inside. The mine was long since abandoned. It was once owned by the Garahan Mining Company by the looks of it. The main entry to the mine was walled off with a thick metal gate. Inside, I saw the remnants of some scorch that had become petrified just beyond the wall. It was foreboding and eerie, to say the least. I opened the doors using a terminal nearby and headed inside. The mine shaft was a dark tunnel, its walls blackened from years of exposure to smoke and fire. The metal tracks lay rusted on the ground and guided me further into the mine. The air was thick with the acrid smell of burning coal, a constant reminder of the inferno raging below. Faint flickers of light from within hinted at the ongoing fires, casting eerie shadows that danced along the tunnel's walls. This was no ordinary mine. It was a hellish labyrinth filled with dangerous gases and unstable ground. The first chamber of the Belching Betty Mine opened up before me. My eyes quickly adjusted to the new space, revealing the unmistakable forms of scorch lurking in the shadows and posing in their last position before petrification. I didn't let them get to that point. With my rifle at the ready, I looked down the scope and fired shots, clearing out the scorched in the chamber. It didn't take long to clear out the few scorched that dotted the area. While searching the area for anything useful, I stumbled upon the body of a fallen Firebreather. The sight stopped me in my tracks, a grim reminder of the risks and sacrifices made by those who came before me. The Firebreather lay motionless, their gear charred and covered in ash. I knelt beside them and searched the body, hoping to find something that could help me identify this brave soul. I found a holotape and a few supplies.
Yeah, the red light is on, so it's recording. This is Maxine Ballard, squad leader of the Scorch Slayers. We're making this recording to document our descent into the Belching Betty Mine for the final exam.
Well, say which exam.
Alright, for the Firebreathers' final exam, we're supposed to head inside, find the emergency beacon, and watch out for Scorch.
Piece of cake. I don't know. If it's so easy, why hasn't anyone else completed the exam?
Because they weren't us. We've been hunting scorched at the farms for days. How much harder could the ones in the mines be? Grow a little backbone.
Come on, guys. Let's stick together on this. Alright, shut up. Okay, Scorch Slayers. It's time to lock and load. Let's get the job done.
The holotape was a journal recorded by Maxine Ballard, who led the Scorch Slayers. They were taking the test to become Firebreathers as well, and it sounded like there were about 5 people in the group. The dead body I found must have been one of them. It seems they didn't make it. I had a moment of panic. If a group of 5 didn't make it, what are the odds that I would? I pushed the thoughts aside. This was one body out of 5. Surely the rest made it. That comforting thought was broken when I found the second body.
Okay, squad leader. Tim and Andrew are both dead. Now what the hell are we supposed to do?
Shut up, Sai. She's recording. Entry 2. We've lost Timothy Wolf and Andrew Rhodes to a swarm of Scorched. And the rest of us barely made it past them alive. I'm beginning to think Melody Larkin may have underestimated the difficulty of this exam.
Well, you're damn right she did. This is suicide. Well, the hell with this. I'm going back.
No, you're not. You're sticking with us.
Why? So we can get picked off one by one until we're all dead? No way, not me.
You know what, Sai? You've been acting like a coward ever since we started tackling the Scorch at the farm. And now, Tim and Andrew are dead because of you.
What the hell are you talking about?
I saw him, Max. When those Scorched pushed through the tunnels, they came at us from all sides. Tim and Andrew were holding, and they told Sai to watch the back, but he didn't. He ran away and left their rear flank wide open. That's what took them down.
Bullshit! She's lying, Max.
Oh, both of you knock it off. Sylvester, if you want to go, go, but you're going back alone, and I guarantee we didn't clear everything behind us. Even if you make it, mark my words, you'll never be part of this squad again.
Fine. To hell with both of you. I'm out of here.
seriously letting him go?
The two bodies I found must have been Timothy Wolf and Andrew Rhodes. Their leader probably left the journals on their bodies as a way of telling folks that entered their story, in case her and the others didn't make it. I stood for a moment of silence to honor them before heading further into the mine. The journal explained how one of the Scorched Slayers named Sylvester fled from the mine, leaving the other two to continue. The narrow halls of the Belching Betty Mine were a nightmare to navigate. The air was thick with smoke and the smell of burning coal, making it hard to see and even harder to breathe, despite the gas mask. The Scorched were everywhere. Their guttural groans and the eerie clatter of their weapons echoed through the mine. My rifle took care of the Scorched one by one, their charred bodies collapsing in heaps on the mine floor. As I pressed on, I kept my eyes peeled for any clues about the Scorched Slayers. I knew Tom and Andy had met a tragic end, but I hoped against hope that some of their comrades might have survived. My hopes were cut short when I found other tape on the body of a fallen Scorched.
Entry 3. Sylvester left the team some time ago. We heard screams echoing through the mines only minutes after he left. Rita and I are all that's left. Despite the odds, we've somehow made it to the beacon.
What's supposed to happen when we activate that beacon?
I don't know. I suppose we'll get Melody Larkin's next instruction about how to get out of here.
Well, there's no reason for us to stand here and wait. Push the damn thing. Oh my god.
They're everywhere. I don't know if we're gonna make it, but we didn't come this far just to give up.
I'm with you, Max.
If we don't make it out of here, I just want you to know it's been a real honor, Rita.
Likewise. Now let's go show those Scorched what it means to be a Firebreather.
They didn't make it. Maxine and Rita activated the beacon and brought a horde of Scorched their way. I found their bodies near the button, and now it was my turn. I envied Max and Rita for a moment. They had died together with someone trusted watching their back. If I pressed that button, there would be nothing to tell my story besides this journal. But if the Scorched Slayers hadn't left those tapes behind, I never would have known their names. It's dawning on me just how important this journal is to me, and just how alone I am in this world. It was my turn to press the button. I took a few deep breaths, closed my eyes, and pressed it. Immediately, a loud alarm sounded and a barely audible robotic voice explained that I, the applicant, had to return to the surface for examination completion. The only problem being that between myself and the exit was a swarm of Scorched. I found cover in one of the buildings that dotted the chamber, popping shots at the Scorched that filed in. After taking out a few, a moment of calm fell over the chamber and I didn't want to waste it. I ran to the stairs that would lead up to the surface, taking out any Scorched that stood between me and freedom. Once clear of the loud alarm and the Scorched horde, I made it up through the tunnels and back to the entrance. I had done it. I had made it through all of the tests left behind by the responders and the Firebreathers. I returned to the Protectron at the entrance and spoke to it to complete the examination. Inside the building, I found something amazing. A power armor chassis with a few pieces still attached. My father spoke about power armor. He had served in the military before the bombs dropped and had told me stories about what he used to wear. But the stories didn't do them justice. The thought crossed my mind to get in it, to take it with me and find the other pieces. On second thought, I knew it would be impossible for me to stick to the shadows and catch my enemies off guard if I was trouncing around in walking tank. I left it there and turned my attention to the Protectron.
All examinations complete. Congratulations. Issuing orientation to Charleston Fire. For company registration.
Crew, hey, congratulations. Hearing this, it means you've earned yourself a place in the Firebreather. Head back to the Charleston Fire Department and have the active captain register you for duty. That'll grant you access to our internal computer system. Once that's done, your captain should be able to point you to your first assignment. But there's no time to waste. Move on, recruit. Welcome to the Firebreather.
The Protectron gave me a holotape from a leader of the Firebreathers, welcoming me onto the team. I was instructed to return to Charleston Fire Department to receive further instructions from my captain. But the tape also mentioned that I could now access their computer system. If there was anything of importance left behind, I would find it all now that I was a fully fledged Firebreather. I didn't need to be told twice to return to the fire department. The sky had grown dark and the memory of the bed and safety of where I spent the previous night came back to me. I hightailed it back to Charleston before anything big and mean caught up to me. I walked through the doors of the fire department and felt the weight of the day's events hit me like a ton of bricks. I removed my helmet and heavy coat and threw them on a table until tomorrow. The cool night air felt incredible on my skin, and I couldn't help but enjoy the fresh breaths that hit my nose and mouth. As I made my way to the captain's office, I popped a can of potato crisps and started to eat. I sat down at the Firebreather's master terminal and registered. Next up was to go to the dispatch room. I poked around the terminal a bit more and found messages that gave me a few helpful tips that may be worth following up on. Garahan Mining had designed exclusive excavator armor for its employees before the bombs fell. These could be produced at a facility in the basement of the Garahan's estate. Another message mentioned a place called Big Bend and how it was a source of the scorched. The Firebreathers were going to lead an attack on the place and had waited for Lieutenant Madigan to return to kick it off. However, he never returned from his last assignment. I walked to the dispatch room and listened to the last transmission for Lieutenant Madigan himself.
There are 800,000 outstanding support calls. Various 1 priority call. Accessing.
Maria, Melody, whoever's down there, it's Madigan checking in. At long last. I'm up here just outside the top of the world and I found something I think could be game-changing. Don't ask me where I got it. I just need you to send backup up here quick. The best guns you can spare. Call me back at this frequency as soon as you can. Madigan out.
Looks like my next stop is top of the world. According to my map, there is a place called Top of the World up in the mountains. That is going to be a hell of a trip, but it's worth it if Madigan was right and whatever he found is game-changing. I haven't forgotten what I learned about the people in the mountains, though. I have a hunch that the people of Flatwoods had run-ins with some folks that meant them harm that lived up there. They may even be the ones that wiped out the residents of Flatwoods. As terrible as it is to write this, I hope whoever lived up there is long gone, either moved away or no longer alive. I am going to spend one more night at the fire department here in Charleston. I am too tired and sore to move, let alone climb a damn mountain. More tomorrow.